Welcome back to my channel. This is the second part of the first one on a non-tropical origin for humanity. It's fascinated me so much that I looked more into it, and I found this one. The most ancient Paleolithic of the Diaring and the problem of non-tropical origin for humanity. So this one, this paper, I cannot quote it and all that because it's behind a paywall, but it was published in 1993. So that is this monograph here is from 2002, so it's before that, and it's it's really substantial. There's a few corrections to my first video, and first of all, this project here in Diaring, North East Siberia in Yakutsk or Yakutia, started 1982 and went up to 87. And I said in the first one that it was in 88. That is incorrect. It's 82 to 87. Then I want to also put here, I said that it was the oldest stone tools. The oldest stone tools were 3.3 million years old. They have actually been, the geologist Grinenko, O.V. Grinenko, placed them from 3.4 million years ago to 1.8. That was in stratum 5. Stratum 4, 3.2 to 3.1. And stratum 3, Penkov, 4.2 to 3.9 million years ago. That was 1986. In 1987, he found another area, 3.2 to 1.8. So the oldest of these dating methods and results is 4.2 million years. So that's even more than 3.3 or 3.2. Now, there is so much to say about this, but you have to read the papers. You can, this one here shows, if you type that in and search for it, you get that, and from there you can actually download the 2002 monograph. The area I didn't say in the first part that was actually surveyed was 5 million square kilometers, and that is twice as big as Western Europe. If you take France, France is 632,000 square kilometers. So it is more than 10, it's like 12 times, that area is 12 times that was surveyed and the things we found there is 12 times bigger than France. Then he also says that in an area of about 5 million square kilometers, practically all of the different regions of Northeast Asia were studied from the point of view of the possibility of their settlement by man during different periods of pre-literate history. Intercontinental and maritime taiga and tundra, lowland, high plateau, mountains, valleys, large and small rivers, large and small taiga and tundra lakes, and covered the islands and shores of the Arctic Ocean to the Amur Basin. You know, Amur Basin is down there near China. And from the Yenisei Basin to Chukotka, Kamchatka, the Kuril Islands and Commander Islands. This is a very, 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 very huge area. And the way they did it, his team is all especially in this paper here. It's just really amazing. You have to, if you really want to know more about this amazing project, you have to read the papers, and it will take you time, because this is just like, there is so much data. There's one thing that I just can't get over my heart, and that is, while there are some very important and very top-notch scientists, geologists, archaeologists, and so on, who think this is absolutely true, correct, this is what it is, there are others who just dismiss the project. They don't even want to hear about it. And the data that is in Wikipedia is also the same. They do not talk about millions of years. They talk about 200 to 300,000 years. So this is not okay. I think I may stand on somebody's feet when I say that, but I have to be honest with myself. You can't dismiss it as if it didn't happen. It happened. If you have a problem with his non-tropical origin of humankind, because maybe you cannot visualize or imagine or understand how people could live there. It started in the middle of the Pliocene area or era, when it was actually warm. That it was about 3 degrees warmer than it is today. And then it cooled and it became very cold, so cold like it is in Yakutia and Yakutsk today, which is very cold. But that is how it is. And to notice it, dismiss it, I don't think it's okay. Yuri Mochanov and his partner and wife, Svetlana, worked on this from 1965 to, well, actually until he died in 2020. He was the senior researcher up in that area. And he does know what he's talking about. Okay, so here we have Yuri Alexeyevich Mochanov. He was born November 8, 1934 in Leningrad, and he died October 20, 2020 in Kiev, where his son lived. So, he is Soviet-Russian archaeologist, doctor of historical sciences, honored scientist of the Russian Federation, 1995, full member of the Russian Academy of Natural Sciences and the Academy of Sciences of the Republic of Sakha-Yakutia, head of the Prelensk Archaeological Expedition, the author of Paleolithic Finds, the author of Hypotheses about the extratropical ancestral home of man. If nobody had asked questions whenever a new theory or a new project or a new hypothesis or new findings came out, we wouldn't be here today on the internet, YouTube, and so on. There would be no progress. So we have, as people, whether we are professionals or we are like me, I'm not a professional archaeologist, I am interested in the subject and I look into it. We have to ask, how could that be? And then we look into many different things and we learn new things. I've been spending, I think 10 days since I made the first video. And I've looked up so many things and I've learned so many things from looking up how could that be. One thing that I learned, for example, was that sea levels are influenced not just by melting ice, but also what happens inside Earth. Sometimes, there's a volcano that comes up, but the actual crust is not, or the topography is not always the same. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. And so if you have read some years ago that, well, the sea levels were 130 meters higher than today. Maybe in some areas it was 130 meters. In others it was not. It might have been 120, 110, 140, depending on the topography, which is depending on what happens down in our Earth. So, this is a new thing, and I've been reading a lot about sea levels and so on, and I've never seen this datum before. So I learned that. I looked up a lot of things about the Pliocene era. When it was warm, how warm, when it started being cold, why it started being cold, and etc., etc. You have to ask questions, not just, no, dismiss it. So let's be honest. Let us put curiosity and truth about whether we think that it endangers our status, funding, or being, part of the group that is seen as the experts. I know it happens. In every science, it happens. I know that scientists sometimes fight for being the first who found this or explained that all the way back to Newton. So, but let's not do that. Let's just be honest and really find the truth, find out how could it be. Okay, so with that, today, bye-bye.